What if I told you that just one day, one single date on the calendar, holds the key to understanding, well, pretty much everything, from the camera in your phone to the bridges you drive across? Today, we're going to unlock the secrets of that one special day.
And that day is April 23rd. Yeah, I know. On the surface, it sounds like just another day, right? But believe me, in the world of science and math, this day is huge. It's a day when absolute giants were born and when their legacies were carved in stone.
So, what's the big deal? I mean, what is so special about this day? Well, get this. On this exact date, spread out across different centuries in totally different countries, a handful of brilliant minds came into the world or left it, and in doing so, they completely changed our world. And we're going to kick things off with a man who literally gave us the quantum world.
But here's the crazy part. Even before the heavy hitters we're about to meet, this day already had some serious history. Way back in 1827, on April 23rd, of course, a 21-year-old student named William R. Hamilton was already presenting these wild new theories about light that would totally redefine physics. It's like you can just feel it, can't you? There's something in the air on this day.
All right, first up, let's meet our quantum pioneer.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question. Think about the camera on your phone, or solar panels, or even lasers. I mean, we see this stuff everywhere. But have you ever stopped to wonder, where did the basic, fundamental idea for all of that actually come from? Well, the answer, not surprisingly, takes us right back to April 23rd. This time, the year is 1858, and it's the birthday of this guy right here, Max Planck.
So here's the deal, and it's a really big one. Before Planck, pretty much everyone thought energy flowed smoothly, kind of like water coming out of a faucet. But Planck came along and said, nope, you're all wrong. He said it comes in these tiny, separate little packets. He called them quanta. And that one idea, which he dropped on the world in 1900, kicked off the entire field of quantum mechanics. So here's the aha moment for you. The entire digital world is built on this. Every single time you snap a photo, your phone's sensor is basically counting those little packets of light. It's not a smooth line, it's billions of tiny steps. Wild, right?
Okay, so we've got the guy who saw the whole universe as tiny packets. Now let's switch gears to a man who found the universe in games and puzzles.
Think about the games you play. Sudoku, chess. Maybe you're into those super complex online strategy games. What's the real connection between all that fun and serious, hardcore math? Well, believe it or not, the connection is huge. And the person who really showed us why was a master of something called recreational mathematics. His name was Wilhelm Ahrens, and he passed away on, yep, you guessed it, April 23rd, 1927.
So, Ahrens was just fascinated by this idea that play is one of the absolute best ways to understand complex ideas. He took a deep dive into the games people play for fun and discovered that they're packed with these deep, hidden mathematical principles. He proved that play isn't just for kids, it's a powerful tool for learning. Which brings us to our aha moment. Every game has rules, right? Well, math is just the language we use to find the winning strategy within those rules. It's the ultimate cheat code. All right, our next story is a fantastic one. It's about how math is like a relay race across time. And this leg of the race involves one of the most famous names in the history of mathematics, Ramanujan. Okay, picture this. A legendary genius leaves behind this incredibly complex, unfinished math problem. It's a puzzle that stumps the smartest people in the world for years. Is it even possible for someone, decades later, to pick up that cold trail and actually solve it? The answer is a big, resounding yes. And the person who did it was Sheila Scott Macintyre, a truly brilliant mathematician who was born, you know the date, April 23rd, 1910. Macintyre was an expert in something called interpolatory function theory, which is a fancy way of saying she was amazing at understanding and predicting complex patterns. So she decided to tackle a super challenging problem left behind by none other than the legendary Ramanujan. She picked up his notes, followed his trail, and solved it. It's an incredible story, and it leads to this fantastic aha moment. Math isn't a solo sport. It's a conversation that spans centuries, where one brilliant mind passes the torch to the next. Okay, so from a woman who solved a legend's problem, let's now meet a man whose math literally builds the world around us. So how do engineers do it? How do they build a massive bridge and know for sure that it won't collapse in high winds? How can they test it on a computer before they even pour the first bit of concrete? Well, a huge piece of that puzzle comes from the work of Solomon Mikhlin, who was born on our favorite day, April 23rd, back in 1908. Mikhlin was a pioneer in using math to understand physical stress, the theory of elasticity. His work on some really complex equations gave us the tools to solve tough engineering problems using computers. So all those virtual stress tests for cars, planes, and buildings, they all rely on the mathematical methods he helped create. And here's the aha moment. With the right math, you can build and test 1,000 bridges on a computer just to make sure the one real bridge you build is perfectly safe.
So let's recap. We've met a quantum pioneer, a puzzle master, a problem solver who connected with a legend, and a virtual engineer. 4 incredible people, all linked by this one single day. But what's the real connection here? What's the secret of April 23rd? I mean, think about it. Max Planck was born in 1858, asking about energy. Solomon Mikhlin, born 1908, asking about stress. Sheila Scott Macintyre, born 1910, asking about patterns. And Wilhelm Ahrens, who died in 1927, asking about the patterns in play. They were all over the map, working on completely different things. But even though they lived in different centuries and different countries, they were all chasing the answer to one powerful, fundamental question. They looked at a world that seemed totally chaotic, and they asked, what is the pattern in this chaos? And they all found an answer. Planck found the pattern in energy. Ahrens found the pattern in games. Macintyre found the pattern in functions. And Mikhlin found the pattern in physical stress. And because they asked that question, because they looked for those patterns, we have the internet, streaming music, safe buildings, and so much more. Their questions changed the world. And it's just incredible that their stories are all connected to this one date, April 23rd. So I'll leave you with this final thought. What